Hi there. Today I'm going to be doing a knife review on the Spyderco Dragonfly G10. I've had this knife in my carry rotation for a little over a year now, and it's served to be a very nice companion. The reason why I chose the Spyderco Dragonfly, the main reasons really was because of its size and weight. The form factor really appealed to me. As you can see here, I have relatively small hands and it fits very nicely. Let's do a little bit of a size comparison. Comparing to Delica 4 here, and a Spyderco Dragonfly. You can see it's quite a bit smaller than the Delica 4. The Delica is already a pretty small knife. Let's do a 4/7 AA squared. Right here. A little bit of do some focusing. There you go. It's about the same size, and then we have a let's do a standard Zippo right here. So the blade length, the cutting edge, is just about 2 inches from the handle to the tip. It's about 2.5 inches overall. Overall, I believe it's just about 6 inches, 5.5 inches. When I was looking at this knife at my local knife shop, one thing that really drew me was the feel of the texture on the scales. Compared to some other variations, example the Spyderco Manix 2, the G10 is a lot grippier on the Manix 2 version as opposed to the Japanese manufactured Spyderco Dragonfly version. As you see here, let's do a bit of a close-up. Here we have the Dragonfly. Let's see if we can focus in there. Okay. What about the Manix? Alright, as you can see, the texturing of the Manix, all the repeating squares are a little bit closer than the Dragonfly, as you can see. And what that really does is it makes the Dragonfly less grippy than the Manix 2. However, it still has the nice, sturdy, and reliable feeling that G10 always has. However, it's just not going to rip up your pants pockets as much as the Manix 2 will, which is something I would look for in a knife that I'll be carrying every day. Another thing that I thought was really nice to see on the Dragonfly is the length of the bevel. As you can see here, the bevel is very, very long and wide. As you see on some knives, a lot of knives that I've been seeing from different knife companies recently is that their bevels are actually pretty short and not evenly cut out throughout the length of the knife. However, on the Dragonfly here, you can see that the bevel is very uniformly cut on both sides of the knife. As you can see here, it's actually pretty even, and I was very, very impressed and very happy to see that. What that's going to do is it's going to make sharpening quite a bit easier, and cutting through various items will be just a little bit easier as well. It's a nice thing to see in terms of fit and finish. Another thing I should comment on is that the screws on this side here, without the Spyderco logo, are actually flush if you disregard the pivot and the clip screw. However, on this side with the logo, it's actually protruding out of the scales. Why is this important? Well, it's more of a personal preference thing, but when I play with my knives, I generally like to hold it in my hands and open it and close it and just fondle it a little bit. And when I have something that disrupts the overall feel of the knife, like protruding screws, it's a little bit annoying. It doesn't feel as nice, but some people won't mind. But I'm just gonna let you guys know. So another thing here is that I was a little bit sad to see this, but you can see the blade centering, it's pretty off. It did change a little bit when I loosened the pivot screw a bit, but it's not really a huge issue for me. I've seen about 4 or 5 different Dragonfly G10 models, and some of them are centered, some of them are not. I could send this back to Spyderco and fix it up, but it's not really worth the hassle. Alright, another thing I should mention is the lockup. It is rock solid. Very, very nice. Side to side, no side to side play, no up and down play. This thing is just built very, very nice. You see the jimping here, it's very purposeful. It's very, very, very secure, and it has sharp, but it does not hurt your fingers. There really are no hot spots on the knife, and what I mean is when you're pushing away and doing some very very hard push cuts and using the knife for pretty lengthy amounts of time. Some knives they tend to have hot spots, and they pretty much just start to hurt different parts of your hand. Example, if the edges here are not rounded, which they are. If they're not rounded, then they would hurt your hands. But however, the Dragonfly, it feels very good when I'm cutting, and everything feels very, very cleanly built, and it seems like it's very, very well thought out. And another thing I should mention here is that besides these little issues like the blade centering, I mean that's a real issue. The protruding screws, some people may not think of it as an issue. One other thing that I do notice is that, I don't know if this has to do with just the fact that this is cut out by a laser, but the opening hole, it does have some little minor bits of residue, which I don't know if I'm being a little bit nitpicky here, but some knives I've noticed from Spyderco have it, some of them don't. I've noticed that generally the laser cut holes do have a little bit more residue than, example, the one here on the Manix 2. Alright, this is cleanly cut. Overall, this knife, it's a very, very nice package. The feel of it is very good. The spring tension is absolutely perfect. However, it did not come this way. When I first got the knife, the spring tension, it was very, very stiff. I've had other Spyderco backlocks in the past, and the tension was not this stiff. For instance, when I can compare it to the Kali 3, it was stiff initially and it loosened up over time. Same thing with this, it does loosen up over time, and now it just feels great. And I actually did loosen the pivot screw to make it a little bit less stiff, and no, it did not do anything on the lockup. The lockup is still solid and very, very secure. So some people on the forums, they're mentioning how the stiffness of the back spring on the Dragonfly G10 is too strong, and I would agree with that initially. Initially it does come out as being too strong, but it really, really does loosen up over time. So that's not really a thing to worry about. Yeah, this is my Spyderco Dragonfly G10 version, and it is a great knife. Its form factor, its size, its weight, the fact that it carries so well in the small clip, which is reversible and it's tip up only, which is great for lefties out there like me. It's a really good companion, and I believe I'm just gonna be keeping it in my carry rotation for a very, very long time. And I think it was a good package, good purchase. Thank you very much for watching my review. If you have any comments or questions, don't forget to leave them down on the comments section, and I'll be happy to reply to you. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Take care.